Good morning. My name is Srinivas Govada. I'm working as assistant professor in the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. In this session, we'll discuss the solutions for Medha 12.0 database questions. The first question: which of the following is or true about DDL commands? So, what is DDL? DDL is data definition language. This is a command used to create or alter the structure of a database object. So, what are the commands available in DDL? We have create, alter, drop, rename, and truncate. So these are the commands available. These are the commands available in the DDL statement. Now, question is, which of the conditions are true or are true about DDL commands? Our data is stored in a table that is described by the schema. Those DDL commands deal with the schema. Correct. With the DDL commands, any structural changes can be made to a table, including creation, deletion, and alteration. This is also correct. Both C and A and B correct. None of the above. So the right answer would be here C. That is both A and B. So by using DDL commands, we can create the structure of the database object, and we also can make the changes by using the alter command. With the alter command, you can add a column, you can drop a column, and also we can change an existing column size. For example, it was suppose name of the column is name, student name. Suppose length is 20. Suppose you want to make it 30. By using alter command, we can make the size to 30. So these are all the conditions are satisfying the conditions in the question. So both the C is A and B. So A is correct, B is correct. So answer is C. Okay. Next question. Which is a valid create table statement? So what is create table syntax? Create table. Table name is XYZ. Okay. Then you should open brackets, column name, then data type. Column name and the data type. This is the create table syntax. Create table is a keyword, then name of the table, then brackets open, column name, comma, column name, space, data type, comma, next column, next type. Now we'll see. Create table emp space add. There is no space in between table names. In table names or column names, you cannot have spaces. So emp add is a wrong answer because there is a space between emp and add. So this is not a valid statement. Create table emp id integers 3. There is no data type by name integers. We have only integer data type. So there is no data type with integers. So this is also ruled out. Next, create table emp modified. Again, here we see a space between emp and modified. This is also an invalid statement. So this is also ruled out. Now, what is the last statement? Create table emp id is the name of the column and it is an integer. Okay, integer of 3. So this is a valid statement. The right answer would be here. The right answer would be second D. Now, the difference between grant and revoke commands. Okay, what type of statement is grant? Is data control language. Data control language. In this command, we have two commands. That is grant and revoke. So both these two commands deals with the permissions based to the user. So if we have it is basically grant and revoke are the privileges associated with an user. Okay, if you grant him the rights, he can perform the required activities. If you revoke, he cannot perform the he cannot perform the activities. Okay, this is something. So by using grant, suppose I say grant connect comma resource to a user, he can connect to that user. If I revoke that commands, he cannot connect to the database. Now we'll see the answers. A grant command can be used to grant a user access to database and tables, whereas revoke command can be used to revoke all access to already assigned to user. This is perfect answer. So grant is a permission based command which will grant a user to access the database and tables, and revoke is to undo the privileges back to the user. If you want to remove the privileges back to the user, you have to use the revoke. Revoke command can be used to grant a user access to database and table. The grant this is exactly opposite to the earlier statement, so this is wrong. So grant is not to revoke. Revoke is not to grant. So option is, this is wrong. A transaction can be rolled back to its last save point. Transaction can be this is also wrong. So none of the above. So answer is A. Answer is A. Which of the following is true about DCL? So in the DCL we have how many commands? Earlier we discussed. We have two commands. Those are grant and revoke. Grant and revoke are the two commands available in the DCL. The DCL command in the SQL allows you to control which users have access to data stored in the database. This is correct. Okay. There will be certain privileges that user has. Consequently, the data can be accessed by them. This is also correct. The DCL command in SQL allows you to grant privileges to a user on the SQL database and tables and revoke privileges that are already assigned to it. So all these three are correct. So answer is option D. Because the DCL command allows the SQL to the user, suppose it has rights, he can access the database. That is first providence. And there are certain privileges that user, suppose I give him the privilege to only see the data, he cannot insert or update. Then he can only access the data, he cannot modify the data. That is again a privilege, that is again a grant rights. And also the DCL commands allows you to, we have two commands here, grant and revoke. These two will give privilege to user, and at any point of time I can revoke the privileges that are already granted to the user. So the answer is D here. Which table command? The table records can be retrieved by which command? Table commands can be retrieved by using only one statement, that is select statement. Table commands can be retrieved by only one statement, that is select statement. Now you will see here, retrieve is not a keyword, not SQL keyword. Select is a keyword used to retrieve the database, retrieve data from the database. Create is to create an object. Alt is to change an object. The right answer would be here option B, that is select statement. Which command will which commands will remove the records from the table but not affect the structure of the table? So it means this question is which command will remove the records from the database, the structure remains the same. So here you can use truncate and delete. Any of these things will be correct. Here. Okay. So remove, there is no keyword by name remove. Drop will remove the entire data and the structure, but here they are saying that structure should not be affected. So drop is ruled out. So you are left with the delete and truncate. Both can be used. To remove data from a table, but structure will not change. So ideally it should be delete or truncate. Okay. So if we don't give a where clause in the delete, entire data is removed. In the delete statement, if you don't mention the where clause, then entire data from the table is deleted. But in the case of truncate, you don't need to give a where condition. Directly entire data is wiped off. Okay. And once the user truncate, the data will never be recovered back. But in the case of delete, if you don't commit, the data can be rolled back. Next question. The records on the structure of the table may be removed or deleted from the database table. Which command? This is similar to a earlier question. You are saying that the table should be removed. And delete, and data should be deleted. The only command available is to drop the table. By using the only drop table command, drop table emp. By using only this command, you can eliminate the table as well as the data. Now we'll see what are the options available. Remove is not a keyword. So delete will not remove the database object. Drop is going to remove the database object as well data. Truncate will also remove the data, but the structure remains same. Structure also remains the same. So our answer is C. Next, which of the following are true about TCL? So what is the TCL commands? Transaction control language. So what are the commands available in here? Here we have commit, rollback, and save point. These are three commands available. In TCL. Those are commit, rollback, and save point. These three commands are available. Now we will see what are the statement given us. The transaction can be saved to a database and rolled back with help of TCL commands in SQL. That is correct. Okay, because by using commit and rollback and save point, transactions can be saved to database by using commit and can be rolled back by using the rollback command with the help of TCL command in SQL. There will be certain privileges that user has. Consequently, the data can be accessed by using TCL. See, the privileges to the user is only possible by using commands of DCL. Those are grant and revoke. So privileges means DCL. This is not associated with the TCL. So this is the wrong answer. Our data is stored in a table that describes the schema. The TCL commands deals with the schema. TCL commands will not deal with the schema. It is only about transactions. The commands which deal with the schema are the DDL. Those are create, alter, drop, truncate, and rename. So these are the commands available in the DDL. So data is described by the schema by the DDL, not by TCL. This is also wrong option. SQL TCL commands can be used to perform any kind of retrieval or manipulation of the data present in the database table. Manipulation or retrieval is done by which command? By DML command. Those are insert, update, and delete. These are the commands available in the DML, and retrieval is possible by using the select statement, which is part of DQL, that is select. So, and the TCL commands is not used to perform any of these DML activities or the DQL activities select statement. The answer is A. This is also ruled out. So TCL command is we have three commands available in this TCL. Those are commit, rollback, and save point. These are used to save the database to the data, save the data to the database, or to undo the changes by using a rollback command. The option in this case would be option for this would be option A. That is correct. Which of the following the completion of transaction? So transaction means a series of steps or sequence of steps used to perform a operation. And the transaction means as a begin transaction, end transaction. End transaction. So transaction is a series of steps performed in a sequence, and the output of this would be a success or failure. If it is success, your data is updated. If it is failure, your data is rolled back. Now, following the completion of a transaction, following the completion of transaction completed, it must be executed to save all the commands. It must be executed to save all the operations performed in transactions. How here we are talking about which command. Revoke is to undo the changes. Okay. Revoke is not a part of transaction. It is a part of DCL. Commit is the things to save the database, to save the data to the database. It is commit. Rollback is to undo the changes. Then there is nothing called as save in the database. There is nothing a command by name save in the database. The option available to us is commit. Commit is the only command used to save our transactions or our operations to the database. If you commit, your data is saved to the database. If you don't use commit, if you say rollback, your data is undo. Revoke is not a part of DCL. It is a part of DCL, data control language. Save, there is no command by name save in SQL. So option is commit. Option is commit. Which is true about a save point? Which of these conditions? What is a save point? Save point is a temporary storage point, temporary point in the transaction till which we can save our data. Suppose you are performing a big transaction, so starting from A. This is A and this is Z. At multiple stages, you want to save your data. Then you can have save points here. Save point B, save point C, D. Okay, these are the intermediate save point. Means if you use rollback till that point, your data can be rolled back. Following the completion of a transaction, it must be executed to save all the operations in performance in the following the completion statement. It must be executed to save all the operations from the. So this is not save point is not this statement is done by commit. This statement is performed by using the commit command. So this is not the right options. A transaction can be rolled back to its last save point. See, once the transaction is completed, the data cannot be taken back to last state. A specific part of the transaction can be given a name. Yes, this is correct. A specific part of a transaction can be here. Like example, we have given the name as B, C. They are save points. So these are the save points. So we are given some save point A, save point C, save point D. Now, if you use save point B here, okay, till now your data is stored in a memory object. Now, if you start working down, if you want to here say rollback till this point, your data is rolled back. Till this point is rolled back. What are the changes done from B to C are revoked. So, a specific part of a transaction can be given a username. So the answer is option C. Option C. Okay, 11th question. Which command is used in SQL Server to implement the auto increment? Auto increment. And what is auto increment? For example, you want to add few employees to database starting with 1. So first see employee table here, employee ID, employee name. So 1 is A, I want to 2 B, 3 C. Instead of you providing these values incrementing of 1 and 1, directly we can use a property by name increment. Okay, increment. We can use now this increment is implemented by a method called as identity of 1, comma 1. That means it starts with 1 and every next record will be incremented by 1. If I say identity of 1000, comma 1, my first record will be 1000, next record will be 1001. So this is identity is a column property assigned to a column to increment the value of a column by given range, a given value. Here my range is 1. If I keep it here, my next record will be 11. Similarly, if I keep it here, it will be 1010. So identity is a property assigned to a column to auto increment the value of a column. Instead of you supplying these values 2, 2, 3, 4, etc., you just have to say A, B, C. Automatically, this value is populated based on the identity property. So, unique is not a property. Unique is not a property. Unique is not a property to increase to auto increment the value. Identity is a correct. Increment is not a keyword in SQL. It is identity. Increment is a meaning of identity. It means you want to increment the values. This is the incremented value. This is the base value. Identity 1, comma 1. This is the base value. This is the incremented value. This is also wrong. Add. There is a thing called as add to include auto increment. The option is B. SQL-like is not used with the following statement. So, what is a like operator? Like operator is to use pattern matching. It is a pattern. Like is used for pattern matching. Pattern matching. We can use something like percentile or underscore. So, when you don't know the exact value of a column, so for example, you know that you know that where student from student where name is equal to Amit. When I write something like this, you know that there is a person by name Amit. So you can get the exact value. Suppose you are not sure about this name. You only know that your name starts with A. Your name starts with A. So you can say your name like single quote A percentile. Now this statement is going to give you all the students whose name starts with the letter A, like Anil, Amit, Anu, Amul, etc. Now, SQL-like cannot be used for which of the following commands. So, delete it can be used because it can be used in any one where clause. This like operator can be used in where operator. So, we can use the where operator with the delete statement. We can use with select statement. We can use with the update statement. We cannot use with alter. So, with alter we cannot use the like operator. Because, so in alter we don't have a where clause usage. In alter we don't have a where clause usage. So we cannot use alter with the where clause. Where clause can be used with the delete. Then we have select. Then we have update. With these three commands, you can perform. With these three commands, you can perform the where clauses can be used. So wherever you can use a where clause, you can use the like operator. The answer here is D. Answer here is D. Dash characters are used independently or in conjunction with a like operator. So we know that in like operator, the possible values, possible characters can be used is percentage means percentage or underscore. This is percentage. So percentage can be used, underscore can be used. So both A and B are correct. None of the above. So answer is C because in the like operator we can use something. We can use two symbols, that is one percentile and underscore. For example, you want to use the percentile. I'll write something like this. Select from student where name like percentage A percentile close. This statement is going to fetch all those students whose name as letter A in any position. This statement, this like operator is going to retrieve all the students whose name has a letter called A at any position. It could be starting, ending, or middle. Now, we'll see how to use the underscore. Same thing I can write. Select star from student where name like single quote underscore A percentile A. If I write something like this, see difference here. Here percentage A percentage. Here I am saying underscore A percentage. When I say underscore here, it means my first letter can be anything. My first character can be anything. First letter can be anything. Second character should be A. Second character should be, because it is underscore A means this at this position I can have any value, but at the second position should have A. So all those names where first character is anything is any character, but the second character should be A. For example, it is BAT bat, CAT cat, DAD dad, MAD mad. So all these records have the second character as A. So these all will be retrieved. What is this statement? Like percentage A, percentage means anywhere A, B, add, Anil, Amul. Anywhere A is starting letter, this is only given. But in the second case, ampersand underscore A means starting portion can be, starting letter can be anything, only the which is second letter A will be retrieved. The option here is C, both A and B. To get the table previous convention status, use the rollback. So to get the table's previous status, you have to use a command called a rollback, which is undo the changes done. When you use the commit, it is saved to the database. Save to the database. Save to the database when you use commit. Transaction is not a keyword. Transaction is keyword. It has commit, rollback, and save point. Commit and save point. If you want to get back to the previous status, we have to use a command back and revoke. So not revoke. It is rollback. It is rollback. So we can use the command called rollback. See, none of the answer is C. C is the with using rollback. We can bring back the table to previous values. In DBMS, the table is known as dash and the row is known as dash. DBMS, a table is called as a relation. Table is called a relation, and row is a tuple. Row is tuple. Column is attribute. Okay. Table is a relation because it contains the related information. Suppose I want to store my name student table. I'll have the relation between students. So what are student relations? Student attributes, student roll number, name, branch, etc. This is one relation. I'm storing into a student table. It has, in this case, it has three properties: student roll number, roll name, and branch. Now, what is a row? Example: roll number 1, a branch A, name of the kind is A, branch is CSC. One row. 2 B, E, C, E. Second student. Now this is a row. This is a row, also known as tuple. This is what are these columns? Stand number, name, That all columns also known as attributes. So in DBMS, table is known as relation. DBMS table is known as relation, and the row is known as a tuple. So the answer is here A. Which select the statement which is true. Select the statement which is true. In a table, there could be any number of rows and any number of columns. Okay, correct. Okay, we'll see. There could be any number of rows and any number of columns. In table, there are any number of rows and specified number of columns. Specified number of columns. Okay, let us things. In table, there could be any number of columns and a specified number of rows. Okay. In table, there could be specified number of rows and specified number of columns. So answer is here only A. Answer here this is wrongly given as thing. Answer is A. In a table, I can have n number of rows. I can have any number of rows and columns. Because there is no limitation on columns. There is no limitation on rows. So answer is in a table I can have any number of rows, any number of columns. So answer is A. Answer is A. Okay. Temporary tables use dash resources than table variables. So temporary variables, what are table variables and what are temporary variables? See, temporary variables like we use hash, and table variables we will declare it at the rate. So temporary variable will use more memory than table variables. We'll discuss in detail about this temporary variables and table variables at later stage. For example, in this case, just have to remember this. Temporary variables will consume more memory than the variables. In an integer, for an integer value, which data type is for Oracle. See, every database provides like Oracle, Microsoft, SQL Server, or Fox Pro, or DB2, or will have its own data types. In Oracle, Oracle, we have to represent integer, we have something like number. In SQL Server, it is integer. An integer is for SQL Server, and in the case of number, it is there in Oracle. So these are the possible corresponding compatibility data types. In Oracle, to store integer, we have a number. In SQL Server, we have integer. To delete the table definition and data from the table, which command can be used? To see, the question is to delete table definition and the data. That means it is not deleting the data. If it is only deleting the data, you can use truncate or delete. But it's saying you want to delete the table definition also. The answer would be here drop table. Drop table. So how do you use the syntax? Drop table. Drop table. EMP. Okay. When you execute this statement, so when you execute this statement, EMP table is dropped from the database, and all the corresponding data is also deleted, also removed, because the object is not there. Where will this data will reside? So it is drop table EMP. The answer here is drop. What does this SQL database language? What does this SQL language designed to? Maintain the data in hierarchical database management system seems to be correct. Maintain the data in relational database systems correct. Maintain the data in network database management systems. Maintain the data in object. All the things are correct. Okay. Well, ideally, because here we have RDBMS relation, so this is correct. So it could be either of these four values. If you want to pick a correct value, if you want to pick one value out of four, you can use any of these. But I will go for relational RDBMS system because it is more relevant, it is DBMS or DBMS. Okay. Thank you. With this, we complete Medha 12.0 database questions.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.